as I said, I do have a lot of questions, but I want to start with something really basic. How would you define the difference between sex addiction and love addiction?
The difference is very much the love addiction is all about trying to get attention and getting a sense of feeling wanted,
Mm,
even if it's paid for. It has its roots, it pretty much always has its roots, Marcy, back in childhood development and something that isn't done well enough, and it's called attachment issues. And every time I touch attachment, oh, it's hard to touch that word without unwrapping it a bit because
mhm,
attachment isn't what's properly on the label on the can. In fact, I often say, why do you call it attachment? It should be detachment. It's rejection, it's loss. It's something that this clever man called John Bowlby back in the 1940s identified, which is in the early years of a child's development, the child needs a bonding with at least one significant other. And typically it's going to be a mother, but it also
mhm,
needs to be a father. And it's something that disrupts that bonding, whether it's postnatal depression, it's incubator upon birth, it's a mother that really just didn't particularly want the child, absentee because of maybe even drugs, maybe prison, but
mhm,
something means the child doesn't have what I call the lighthouse, the reference point for growing up and developing. And it's just not done good enough. It's not a criticism so much of a parent, it's that the bonding isn't done well enough. You can understand adoption, fostering, you can understand being sent to boarding school, those things that create a separation, and it
mhm.
creates this deficit, this sort of this, I call it a black hole, to be honest, where the bonding isn't done early enough, soon enough, well enough, good enough. So later in life, it goes on to impact how the now developing child into the adult does their adult relationships. So what has this got to do with childhood? It's got everything to do with childhood as to how the adult now goes on. So the adult is now trying to fix the deficit of being getting a sense of being wanted, but I call it a push me, pull you. I want somebody close to me that really owns me and loves me. But when you get too close and I'm fearful that you're not going to hold me long enough and you're going to reject me and let me go, then I push you away. So an argument, a conflict. And so they're
Mm.
constant searching out relationships, maybe dating sites and the likes, to fill that void that got set up back there with somebody who's giving me attention and feeling wanted. So that's really what we call love addiction. You're trying, so you're not sitting in a room just viewing porn and the next page, and etc. You need interaction with other people, even if you're paying for that service. The fact that they're giving you attention fills a void. Does that make some sort of sense?
Oh, absolutely. So you because you didn't get it for whatever reason when you were a child, you're just searching for that constantly as an adult.
And you never fill the void, even if
Ooh,
partner, a spouse, I love you, you're just the best thing since sliced bread. I love you, you're so, that lasts 5 minutes and then you have to go off and try and get it elsewhere. And it's like a watering can with holes in the bottom, just leaking all the time. And so you've got to keep topping it up with more and more and more, but it never stays filled for more than 5 minutes before it's,
wow. Okay, that's really interesting. So it's almost as if you're sort of addicted to that rush, that first part, that part where you feel like you're each other's world, and all you do is just have eyes for each other. And then as soon as that kind of starts to fade a little bit, they need to move on and get that.
I wish it were that, Marcy, because then I could understand the dopamine hit and oh, don't we love the feeling love, those early days? Oh, it's so nice. Not really. It's actually the attention that
Okay.
when I contact you and you say yes and we set up the appointment and I'm on my way, the heart is pumping, the dopamine is going. And when you turn up, the sex is a wet squid. I often say it's an anticlimax. It's a, what was all that about? It's the chase, it's the anticipation, which is the best part. That's where you're getting your dopamine serotonin fix. But it's all about the interaction with the person, more so than actually even the dopamine rush. The fact that you give me attention, you want my time, you want me, even if I'm paying for it, gives me a sense of being wanted. But it's
But
a
you're saying that
false.
even if, sorry, even if you're in a relationship, even if somebody is giving you as much of their
Oh,
attention as they can, it's still not enough. Okay, so that's different than somebody who, from somebody who's desperate to find love because same thing, sometimes they feel like they never got enough of it. And so, because I know people who go from relationship to relationship because they want so desperately to be in a relationship because they're so afraid of being alone that they will try everything they can to make a relationship work, even if they know it's unhealthy, even if they're not happy. They're so desperate to make that other person happy so
yeah.
that they don't leave, that they will do everything they can. And then if that person does leave, then they just move on to the next person. But that
It's
sounds
not.
different.
It's not to make the other person happy. It's all about me. Totally about me. That there is a need to feel connected and wanted and held. But there's such a leakage. That
Mm,
one spouse telling you how gorgeous, how good, how it's just not enough. Because there's a black hole that you just put as much in there and it keeps on just depleting. So it's, in fact, we're misleading ourselves by even using the term love, because it's not really that you're seeking love or sex. For women, it most definitely isn't really the sex. It is
mhm,
the connection, it's the sense of being wanted, it's the sense that somebody's giving me attention. And you need to understand, even the class clown, to get the false attention, the laughs, is better than no attention, even if it's
mm,
the wrong attention. And so even when the relationship has run its course, you stay in it because it's better to have somebody than nobody. That's how the brain is
right.
working. Yeah. And
Mhm,
the minute you get wind that it might finish, you may even, you'll perhaps torpedo it yourself. You'll do things to push the person away, because here's the logic with attachment issues. You've got to stay in control of relationships, and don't
mhm,
ever let anybody drop you, let you go, because the brain is still remembering something that happened back there in childhood. So you must never let that happen. So it is better for you to throw a hand grenade in and do things to push the person away. They may never have left, but you're doing
mm.
to push them away because you fear they're gonna get there first. And so you blow it up, because it's better to be in control of the pain that's going to come than if somebody does it to you. That's the logic of